I'm Jonathan, the founder of Intrizen, a company specializing in software design for all HR processes. Our vision is to design, build, and implement software that better connects people with one another and multiplies happier human connections. This passion has us serving clients for over the past 10 years. At Intrizen, we spend a lot of time reflecting, thinking about what the world needs. We ask questions and think deeply about what's important. And as a team of visionary system and process architects, hardly do we stay at the surface level. In this monthly newsletter of Intrizen Perspective, we want to dive into the important topic of budgeting and capital allocation as many companies are looking into the 2021 year ahead. As we know, 2020 has put many organizations in a position to adapt to the changing economic climate. Organizations have been widely affected, with some industries booming while others adapting to keep the lights on. There seems to be an eagerness to move on from 2020 and look at 2021 with a renewed vigor and optimism. Leaders across organizations are thinking what 2021 and beyond will look like and how companies will plan for it. They're asking questions such as, what are our priorities for the year? What impact does the pandemic play through 2021? How do we ensure the health, safety, and wellness of our workforce? How much of the workforce will remain remote and how much will be back in the office? And if we bring people back, how do we keep them safe? What is needed to ensure the safety of our employees? What reconfiguration of the offices and work sites will be needed? How do we comply with the physical distancing, hygiene, and safety standards that should be set forth? And how do we budget and allocate for all of this? Of course, all companies' initiatives will require capital allocation to set forth and execute on the company mission. From the Intrizen perspective, budgeting for 2021 will need to remain flexible to account for both known and unknown variables. Traditionally, budget cycles are fixed for the year, of which this year has been abruptly forced to being a more flexible, agile model throughout the pandemic. The ability to flex capital resources based on the evolving business priorities has been essential for the adapting of the organization. We believe this trend will continue through 2021, and for some companies, this will become the go-forward approach. With so many changes that happened this year and unknowns still ahead, what are companies focusing their capital allocation on? Digital workforce. It's clear that organizations will continue to allocate budget to meaningful initiatives that will drive value to their customers and employees. There will be a focus on capital allocation on the continued digitization of the organization, digital sales channels, digital interactions, and digital workforce, all threaded with the layer of an end-to-end experience management. Capital spend will also increase in the supporting infrastructure to facilitate these digital interactions by moving more applications to the cloud, increased automation and artificial intelligence, broadband remote connectivity, communication tool sets, and enhanced cybersecurity. Real estate. Organizations are rethinking the places in which interactions are happening. Discussion of remote workforce versus on-site workforce is front and center to capital allocation. We believe there will continue to be an increased spend to reconfigure environments to meet physical distancing standards for both the customers and the employees. For organizations that are moving to a more permanent remote workforce, there will be a reduction in corporate office space appropriate to the physical distancing standards and will be moving to a more reservation model type when employees need to be in the office. Health and wellness. A top priority for organizations will be continued investment in the safety, health, and wellness of the employees and customers. New policies and procedures are being implemented, which is modifying the way we interact. There are revisions to employee standards, paid sick leave, paid time off, interview protocols, new employee onboarding, co-location meetings, cafeteria standards, cleaning standards, among many others. Investment into contact tracing initiatives and new applications to confirm symptoms prior to work entry will also increase as a means to support health and safety standards. Election. All companies are preparing for changes coming as a result of the election. Tax laws and policy changes have an impact every year on the financial models in place to support the business. These translate to corporate tax rates, tax law, adjustments, minimum wage changes across different states, employment laws, payroll changes, and many others. All of these factors need to be accounted for, updated across all the systems, and included in the planning and budgeting process. While there is no crystal ball about the future, there are many ways to manage capital allocation which has been effective. Some of them to name a few. Identify the keep the lights on financial requirements. Build multiple scenarios. Build out your best case, probable case, and worst case. Stress test the financial models for each of these scenarios. Know the thresholds for when to adjust capital allocation across each one of these scenarios. And be flexible with an agile financial model, and be careful of not locking into a fixed financial model. Keep a support budget on standby in the event unknown circumstances arise. Keep a rolling forecast and continually adjust based on the latest environment. We know the important impact that companies have to their customers, employees, and community. The company financials are the underpinnings of executing the company mission. Empathetic leadership leads towards this conscious capital allocation and continuing to have that positive impact in the world. We hope that this message brings you inspired thoughts about how to financially navigate through 2021. Peace and blessings to you all.